Hello friends. Welcome to Daily Flow Yoga and Meditation. My name is James. I hope you enjoy this, and if you do, please take a moment to hit like and subscribe and comment, start a conversation. I'd love to connect. So allow yourself to arrive on the mat, let your eyes flutter closed if that's comfortable for you. Or find a soft point of focus a few feet in front if that's more comfortable for you. Start to come into awareness of your breath. So this week we begin our practice of the Niyamas. The Niyamas are our personal observances. Things that we do less for other people, or less about how we relate to other people and more about how we relate to ourselves. And the first of these is Saucha, which is purity. So we're going to begin with intention setting. Finding a clear, simple statement or even a single word that expresses the purity with which we'd like to approach our time on the mat today. Maybe that word is purity. Maybe it is joy. And in so doing, releasing our need, our desire to achieve an outward result. The thing that seems the most pure to me is a sort of more Hatha style of yoga, which is similar. Vinyasa is a kind of Hatha yoga, but it's deliberately a bit more meditative. For our purposes this morning, we'll think of a 4-count inhale and a 4-count exhale. So starting to come into that awareness. First exhale everything out. Then inhale slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue on your own. Your own count. Noticing what you're able to soften, what perhaps you're able to release. Allow the exhales in particular to be an opportunity to let go. And the inhales an opportunity to energize. The next time you complete your 4-count exhale, back to neutral, even breathing. We're going to begin to link some movement with that breath. We've done a similar sequence before, a seated spinal twist sequence. So sitting up nice and tall on the sits bones. Take the right hand to the mat beside you and float the left arm up by your ear, and then find an easy side bend. Really grounding down in both sits bones evenly. See if you can create a little more length through the side body. And as you breathe, make it an attempt, an effort to create more space between the ribs. So inhaling and exhaling. On your next inhale, float the right arm up by your ear. And as you exhale, take the right hand to the left thigh and float the left hand behind you, sitting up nice and tall for an easy spinal twist. Wrapping the right shoulder blade under. And then the traction of that right hand helps to guide the left hip forward just a little bit. And then find that lifting up and out of the pelvic floor. One more inhale, get taller. Exhale, twist more deeply. Keep the right hand as it is, but float the left hand up by the ear. Then cross it over as you exhale. So arms are crossed in front of you, finding a bit of a cat shape here. Finding the lengthening up from the sits bones as your spine curves towards crown of head. Inhaling into the space between your shoulder blades and exhaling. And as you inhale, sit up nice and tall. And this, at first, just hold opposite shoulders. Elbows are stacked. So getting a little bit taller, rounding down, lifting up. So this is a bit like a cow shape. Finding the shoulder blades easing into their little pockets. Inhaling. Exhale, go ahead and release that. Take the left fingertips to the mat beside you. Float the right arm by the ear. Looking up under that right tricep, grounding down evenly in both sits bones. Look for softness in the top of the right shoulder. And see if you can create more length, more space between the ribs as you inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, come back to sit up tall, float left arm by ear, and then as you exhale, left hand comes outside right thigh. Right hand is behind you like a bit of a kickstand. Inhales help you get taller, exhales help you twist more deeply. And again, the traction of that left hand kind of helps to guide the right hip forward. One more breath. Inhale, get taller. Exhale, twist. As you inhale, put that right arm up by your ear again. And as you exhale, cross it over, tucking the chin, rounding the spine. We'll take about 2 rounds of breath here. So even though you're sort of crunched, the spine is still super long. So focus on that length a bit. And then on your next inhale, come back up again, holding opposite shoulders with elbows stacked. Grounding down and through the sits bones as you lift up through the heart. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Lean back and just change the cross of your legs. We're going to do one more round on each side, but this time we'll try to connect that 4 count breathing. So taking right fingertips beside you on the mat. Inhale, float left arm up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Side bending. 4, 3, 2, 1. Both arms float up. 2, 3, 4. Take the twist to your left. 3, 2, 1. Float left arm up. 2, 3, 4. Cross it over. 4, 2, 1. Sit up tall. Maybe eagle wrap the arms. 2, 1. Exhale, release. 3, 2, 1. Take left hand beside you, right arm up, inhale. 3, 2, 1. Come back up to center. 3, 2. Twisting to your right. 3, 2, 1. Right arm up. 3, 2, 1. Cross it over. 3, 2, 1. Sit up, eagle wrap. 3, 2, 1. Release all of that and rock forward onto all fours. This is actually what I've been doing every morning for the past several days. We're going to start with the exact sequence that I've been taking, which is really just focused on sun salutations, but finding this 4 count breath. So pulling the heart forward, we won't worry about the 4 counts just yet. Pulling the heart forward for a cow shape. So instead of thinking about releasing the belly down, allow that to happen, and think a little more about pulling the tailbone back, and then using the 10 fingertips, think about pulling the heart forward. So like you're trying to manually separate each vertebra. Shoulders are soft. The chin is lifted. And then breathe into the back, inhale. Exhale, release that shape, and then start to push the floor away, and we'll find our cat shape, but stay super active here. So even though we're not moving, we're really pressing down through every point of contact we have with the mat. And we're really thinking about separating through the back space, about breathing into the space in the low ribs and between the shoulder blades. Your spine is just as long as it was in your cow shape, it just happens to be curved. One more inhale. Exhale, come back to your neutral spine. Now we will do the 4-count breath. So inhaling to cow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling cat. 4, 2, 1. Inhaling cat. 3, 2, 1. Exhaling cat. 3, 2, 1. Inhaling. 2, 3, 4. Exhaling. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take just a moment. Maybe turn your hands over on the mat so that palms are facing up. Just make some little circles on those wrists. And go the other way, like you're stirring a pot. That feels a little too intense. Right? You can back off. And go ahead and plant the hands again. Tuck your toes, float your hips, downward facing dog. So especially if you're doing this first thing in the morning, those heels might not necessarily reach the floor. They may never reach the floor, and that's okay. Let's see if you can find a lifting of the kneecaps. You're welcome to pedal out your dog a little bit here. Take it for a walk. And then find the 10 knuckles, the 10 top knuckles. And then find the pinky edges of the hands, and energizing those 2 places may help you lift the wrists just a little bit. So the base of the palm is making sort of a suction cup shape. Then again, return to that lifting of the kneecaps to deepen the hip crease and help pull more weight into the legs. On your next inhale, roll forward to a plank position, and then continue moving through your plank to an up dog, but keep toes tucked. Then send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. We're going to do our 4-count breath with that. Inhale, rolling forward. Coming to your up dog. And then exhaling up and back. 3, 2, 1. Inhaling forward. 3, 2, 1. Exhaling back. 3, 2, 1. One more round. It's essentially cat and cow. Just a little bigger. And then down dog. 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees. Slowly, gently walk your feet forward to meet the hands and find a ragdoll, holding opposite elbows. Swaying your hips left and right. Feel a lengthening and a releasing in the back space. Soften the neck. And then release those elbows, pressing down through the 4 corners of the feet. Roll up super slowly. Feel as though you're stacking each vertebra one at a time. And ride in your mountain pose. Gathering your feet to touch if that's comfortable. Gathering your hands into prayer at heart center. Take a moment to remind yourself of your intention. And you come back to your breath if you lost it, cultivating that Ujjayi breath. A hollow ocean wave sounding, a mirror fogging breath at the base of the throat. On your next inhale, float your arms overhead. In this upward salute, take a moment to find your connection to the mat. Option to find a little bit of a back bend here, so the arms might travel back, the hips might travel a little bit forward. But if you feel any pressure on the low back, start by lifting the heart more, and if you still do, then just take the back bend out. Then coming back up to stand tall, right hand takes left wrist, and reach up and over to your right. Looking up under the left tricep, sending the left hips a bit to the left, really super grounded in those feet. One more inhale, one more exhale. And then as you come up, reach tall, and as you exhale, take your hands behind your back, interlace fingers, and really push those knuckles away as you inhale, open up to the heart space. And then keep the knuckles interlaced, hinge forward with soft knees. Think about the knuckles scraping the ceiling. And then go ahead and release those knuckles. Hands can come to mat or to shins as you find a nice long flat back. Pull the tailbone back, pull the heart forward like your cow shape. And then just step back, left foot, right foot, high plank. Again, a sensation of pulling the heart forward as you slowly bend the elbows in half, chaturanga. And then rolling over toes, upward facing dog. Hips go high, downward facing dog. We're taking a full 5 rounds of breath, as is traditional. If that feels like it's a bit too much, you're more than welcome to find a child's pose. It's about round 3, beginning. Exhale. Maybe you find that 4 counts, inhaling. 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 5. Inhale. This time as you exhale, soften your knees, lift the heels up forward, and use the full inhale to walk to the top of the mat. Find your flat back. And then as you exhale, fold over strong legs. Root to rise, inhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4, and pull your prayer into heart center. 3, 2, 1. Find your feet again, gathering them to touch perhaps. And as you inhale, float your arms overhead and stay. Option here to find a little bit of a back bend by lifting up, starting from the mat, up through the legs, through the pelvic floor, to the heart, to the head. And then standing up tall, left hand grabs right wrist, lifting up and over, sitting the right hip out to the right, and looking up underneath that right tricep. Creating as much space as you're able between the right ribs as you inhale and exhale. Then coming back up to center. Stay nice and tall as you exhale, the hands behind you, interlacing fingers. Inhale makes your heart proud. Exhale, hinge forward, soft knees, knuckles scrape ceiling. And then release those knuckles. Find your flat back. This time as you exhale, step the right foot back, step the left foot to meet right high plank. Inhale, pulse the heart forward. Exhale, and lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 3. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 4, 3, 2. Last round of breath. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling, slowly bending knees. 3, 2. Slowly walking forward. Inhale. 2, 3. Flat back. Exhale. 4. Down. 3, 2. Slow rise up. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Hands to heart center. 3, 2, 1. We're going to do 2 more rounds exactly like that. This time, keeping our 4-count breath without the side bend, because that tends to take a little longer for me at least. So find your feet. Find your breath. We'll take 1 round of breath just to establish our 4 counts first. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 4, 3. Here we go. Arm sweeping up. 2, 3, 4. Interlace behind you. 2, 3, 4. Open your heart. 3, 2, 1. Knuckle scrape ceiling. 3, 2, 1. Find your flat back. 2, 3, 4. Step back to plank. 3, 2, 1. Lower halfway. 3, 2, 1. Upward facing. 3, 2, 1. Exhaling down. 3, 2, 1. Round 1 of breath. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Round 2, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Round 3, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Round 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Round 5, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 3, 2. Soften knees. Walk forward. 1, 2, 3. Flat and fold. 3, 2, 1. Rise up. 3, 2, 1. Mountain pose. 2, 3, 4. Take just a moment before we move on. Remind yourself of your intention of approaching with purity so that it's not about the shape. It's never about the shape. And recognize that even though this seems simple, it is simple. It's not easy. One of my teachers says, slow is advanced. And it's true, even with the most basic shapes. We'll do 1 more round, exactly like that. Starting with our mountain pose for 1 round of breath to establish our rhythm. Here we go. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 4, 3, 2. Slow sweep up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slow swan dive. 4, 3, 2. Heart pulls forward. 2, 3, 4. Step to plank. 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower. 2, 3, 4. Upward facing. 2, 3, 4. Downward facing. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2. Now these slow breaths, exhale, might mean you need to be a child. That's okay. Inhaling 2, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 2, 3. This is also an opportunity, exhale, to find where you can soften. 5, inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, slowly soften the knees, look forward, use your 4 count inhale, step forward, 2, 3, flat, back, forward, 2, 3, 4, root to rise, take your time, 3, 4, hands to heart, 3, 2, 1, nice. We're going to make our way to the mat with one more slow vinyasa round. Inhale, sweep your hands overhead, 2, 3. This time we'll just swan dive forward, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flat back, 2, 3, 4. Step back to plank, 3, 2, 1. Heart pulls forward and lower to the mat, 4, 3, 2, release. Make a little cushion for your head. So stack your palms, forehead comes to palms, and give those hips a little wiggle left and right. Find some release. We're going to take a round of Shavasana here, locust pose. We'll actually do 2 rounds. In this first one, I'd encourage you to keep your toes, the tops of your feet, on the mat, and your thighs, and your low belly. And then float your hands either beside you or interlace fingers at back, which are plenty warm to do. And then find that pressing down through those points of contact, starting with the feet, and slowly start to lift the heart. Feel as though you're pulling the heart forward, and then the interlaced fingers or the fingers reaching back, whichever you chose, are pulling back. So it's actually that pulling back creates the back bend, but you're really trying to reach the heart forward, up and out from that pelvic floor. And you soften the glutes just a little bit as you find more energy in the front of the leg. One more inhale. And exhale, go ahead and release that. Make that little cushion with your hands again. Take either cheek to the mat. Again, you can give those hips a little wiggle out. And coming back, forehead down. This time, you have the option to float the toes and the shins and maybe even the thighs. So start by reaching back, either along beside you or interlacing fingers. And then feel that easily drawing the shoulder blades together. Find the low belly connection first, and then inhale, float up. Maybe float a little more than you did before. This time the length. Maybe have a little more focus of the toes reaching back, the thighs reaching back. And then again, soften those glutes a little bit. And maybe that gives you more space and more release in the back space. Inhale. Exhale. Let that go. And pressing down, grounding your left palm on the mat. Press down and roll over onto your mat. Give the knees a hug towards the chest. Maybe tap forehead to knees. And then rock along the length of your spine. We're going to come up to a boat shape. So you have all the options here for boat. You can keep your feet on the mat and just lean back. Maybe you hold the backs of the thighs. Maybe you float shins parallel. Maybe you lengthen the legs. Maybe you release the backs of the thighs. Any of those options will do. Now, can you soften your gaze, your drishti, and soften your jaw? And start to find that 4-count breath. So we're holding a static shape which looks simple, but that little shaking is totally appropriate. Let's inhale together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. And does this remind you of down dog? 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3. Now, knees can still travel towards hips. 1, 2, 3, 4. Heart can melt towards thighs even though you're floating. 3, 4. Inhaling. And as time as you exhale, slowly lower down. Bring those knees in for a nice little hug. We're going to come into a little bit of our supine twist sequence. So give the knees a hug to the chest, forehead taps knees, and then keep the right knee close, send the left leg long, left heel releases to mat, and then guide that right shin across your body as you release the head down. Right arm might be long in a T shape, or it might be cactus. Sometimes it's nice here to stack the left knee on top of the right ankle. That feels like too much, you're right. Some of you might find a full eagle wrap with the legs. That's not for me today, but maybe it's for you. And I have my left hand resting on my right knee. That just feels good in my body. Take your attention to the left shoulder blade rising up, the right shoulder blade melting down. One more breath, inhaling. Exhaling. And whatever you've got, untangle it. Plant both feet flat on the mat. We'll find our supine pigeon shape here. So crossing right ankle or left knee. You can keep the left foot on the floor or thread that needle. Interlacing fingers around hamstring or shin. Using right elbow to create more space in the right IT bands. And make your feet either flexed or pointed, but try to make them active. Inhale, create space. Exhale helps you go more deeply into the stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Last inhale. Release on the exhale. Plant both feet flat. Maybe windshield wiper them left and right a little bit. And then start to guide the knees back into the chest. Lift forehead to tap knees. Breathe into that back space. And then as you exhale, keep the left knee close and the right leg long. Release the head down as you guide the left shin across your body. And then what you did on the other side might be perfectly appropriate here. If you found either an eagle wrap or you stacked right knee on left ankle in this case, maybe right hand is on right outer thigh, maybe not. What is the same is that the floor is rising to meet the right shoulder blade, and the left shoulder blade is allowed to soften onto the bed. So if you feel like that left shoulder blade's a million miles away, maybe just back off the twist a little bit. You can put a block under your right knee. One more nice big inhale. Full deep exhale. And coming up, untangle what you've got. Plant both feet. Cross left ankle, leg, right knee. And then make your choice about whether to interlace, thread that needle. Make your feet nice and active. Using that left elbow to gently guide the left thigh out. And the energy and gravity of your upper body help pull the right leg in a little bit more, maybe. You never want to stretch into pain. It's a really nice feeling, I think, especially first thing in the morning, to find that opening to the outer thighs. Release in the hip space, depending on how you sleep. I tend to be on my side and twisted up in all kinds of weird ways. This is untangling that. One more inhale. Exhale, release that. Plant both feet, windshield wiper. And we'll end as we often do with a little bit of happy baby. So options here as you guide knees into armpits, option to hold ankles or outside edges of feet, or even peace fingers around big toes. Just find a little bit of a rock. So we're also using this today as our inversion because the feet are higher than the head. So take a moment to appreciate that fact. Take a moment to realize that sometimes a label like inversion makes us think of difficult things. We can do the same thing, look at the same benefit in a restorative way, in a supported and grounded way. And go ahead and give the knees one last little hug in. Come into your Shavasana, or you may choose Supta Baddha Konasana, which is soles of feet together, knees wide. The point is finding a place in which you'll feel comfortable for about 3 or 4 minutes, not that long. A place in which you feel supported and safe. For some people, being on your back in the middle of a room with your eyes closed is not a safe feeling. But whatever you choose, know that here on the mat is a safe space. Safe space to be bad at yoga, to be bad at meditating. It's a safe space to celebrate the microcosm of the universe that exists in your personhood from a place of purity, of wonder, of awe. There are lots of reasons you might come to the mat. Whether it's once a day, once a week, once a month, once in a lifetime. And it's perfectly okay if those reasons include wanting to be more fit, wanting to look better. It's fine. Who doesn't want to look the best? Recognize that. And recognize too that sometimes when we set one intention, one goal, it takes a lot of courage to allow something else to come in. I did not start doing yoga because I cared about yoga. I started doing yoga because it seemed good and stretchy. Like maybe it would relieve some stress during graduate school. But by coming to Shavasana, the yoga starts to work on you. And that mindfulness of breath and of intention that you cultivated in your practice can't help but carry through off the mat. with a sense of purity. Start to find a little life in your fingers and in your toes. With as little effort as possible, slowly, gently, start to walk your feet in. Feeling each footprint one at a time. Slowly pressing through either foot, rolling to your favorite side for just a moment in a fetal position. Just a moment to recognize all that is literally holding you up right now. And then maybe letting your mind follow to all the things that are metaphorically holding you up. And just say a brief thank you. You slowly start to make your way to any comfortable seat. Gathering hands in prayer at heart center, we'll end as we always do with the sound of one Om, which starts with an open-throated ah at the back of the mouth, moves to an O at the center, culminating in an oo and eventually a hum at the front. And then we send that hum vibrating up through our nose, through our forehead, out the crown of our head, as an offering. One full round of breath first, inhaling fully. Exhaling deeply. Inhaling for Om. Gathering your thumbs at your forehead, bowing your chin towards your chest. The light that is in me bows to and honors that most pure, beautiful, glorious light that is in you. Namaste. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to like, share, and follow dailyflow.yoga.